Good morning everybody and welcome. Today I thought I would show you how to make something with our delicious Irish clonakilty black pudding made down in Cork in the south of Ireland in a little town called Clonakilty. It's absolutely delicious. This is the best black pudding that you can buy in Ireland. Absolutely delicious. So for those of you who are not sure what black pudding is, I'm not really sure what it is. There's lots of fables out there that it's made with, actually I'm not going to tell you, never mind, you can Google it yourself because it'll totally put you off. Anyway, here we go. I have some sausages here, and what I'm going to do is basically take the skin off the sausage, okay? So you just slice down and squeeze out the sausage meat like this, okay? This is going to take a while. Unfortunately, this is not the season to be able to just go into a shop and buy sausage meat. If it was, you could just literally go in and buy. And what we're doing is we're taking the skin off, okay? So I'm going to do that to a full packet of sausages, which is slightly under 500 grams, and I'll come back to you. Okay, so I have all my sausages skins off, and now I'm going to just put my pudding in here as well and just crumble that up just with your hands, because I'm going to mix them all together so it is an easy thing to do. First time I had a black pudding sausage roll was about 2 weeks ago, and I just thought, wow, delicious, what a great idea. And black pudding is something we traditionally have here in Ireland as part of our big fry. So with your sausage, bacon, you would always have a little bit of black pudding and white pudding as well. But now I see that it's become a lot more popular and people are starting to use it for all sorts of other things besides just the fry. Okay, so I'm going to wash my hands super quick here. The last thing I'm going to do is add a piece of grated apple, just one apple grated, into this mix here. Keeping the skin on, just washed it. Woo, apple in my eye. And just grate the whole thing straight in. And that's all you need there. That's all the ingredients. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper in here as well. And that's it. You can use shop-bought pastry, or you can make your own puff pastry. If you have time to do that, that's great. I don't ever make my own puff pastry. I make my own short crust pastry, shortbread, sweet pastry, but I never make my own puff pastry because it's just one of those things that is not my passion. I'm not passionate about. I'm not going to say who has time for that, because if you're passionate about it, you would take the time to do it. It's like me making sourdough and ciabatta that takes 2 days to make. People say to me, would you not just go and buy it? But I love making it, so it's not a big deal. So I'm careful not to criticize making your own puff pastry, because if it's something you love to do, that's great. Okay, so I'm just gonna get a cloth and wipe, tidy up here a little bit, and mix everything together just with a little splash of salt and pepper. I'm not going to add too much salt because there'd be a fair bit of salt in sausages. And then get the hands in and squeeze it all together. This is one of those jobs I'd say your 12-year-old would love to do, because it's and they probably think it's hilarious getting squelchy hands in here. Okay. And that is basically all the ingredients mixed through. Now, at this stage, if you wanted to add some like tomato relish or tomato chutney that you have in your press that's just sitting there and it's going to go out of date, this is a good way to use it up. Pop some in here as well. I'm going to add a little splash of sweet chili sauce because I just love that. So I've probably about 2 tablespoons in there. I love that sharp contrast between the savoury of the sausage and the black pudding, and then that little kick with the chili, and then the sweetness of the sweet chili sauce. Okay, so that's it all mixed up. I'm going to wash my hands again and come back to you with the next step. Okay guys, here is my shop bought ready rolled puff pastry, and I'm going to cut it right down the middle into 2 separate halves, okay? And then I'm going to start filling up, and it's a good thing to have a little bowl of cold water beside you. If your hands are wet, it's a whole lot easier to work with sausage meat or anything like that. It doesn't stick to your hands. So I'm going to spread it out kind of more, not quite in the middle because I'm going to roll this over, more 2/5 of the way to one side. There's the old maths coming in to play. And I want a nice little chunk of meat in here, but I also want to make sure that it can close properly. So you don't want to overfill it either. Let's have a look and see how we're going here. We could probably put a tiny bit more in. I am using 2 packets of shop bought pastry today, so I'll be making that's how much this amount you'll be able to make 2 full packets. Okay, so that's 2 sheets. Hope I'm making sense. Okay, now the next step is you're going to brush one side, the side that you're folding over, with a little bit of beaten egg. That's not very well beaten there by the looks of things. If you don't have a pastry brush, you can just use your hand for this part. Don't worry about it. So I'm going to pull this back up here and flick this part over onto it so that the 2 sides meet. That's really the important part, so that you're not going to have any weeping out over the edges. Okay, and then flick it over onto that side and then just start cutting, depending on how big you want them. If you want a decent size one or just little ones. I'm going to just do little ones today and give them a good cut all the way down. That would be a nice bite of sausage roll there. And then the end one is a little bit smaller, but that's okay, it'll still be even. And then you repeat the same for this side and also for your other piece of pastry. And then get your beaten egg and just egg wash the top and the sides of each one like that. And then pop it onto your tray, your baking tray. I'm just using one of those plastic sheets that I like to use. And just pop them on just like that. And then pop them into the oven. I'll put up the times and the temperature and all that good stuff. I'm going to crack on here and get them all done. So here we go. Here we go, guys. I managed to fit them all onto one tray. Just a little bit of space in between each one to allow them to rise a little bit. I'm going to pop them into my hot oven, which is usually around 220-ish. And then I'm going to check them halfway through and turn them around, because most ovens heat more at the back than they do the front. So I'm going to turn them around halfway through. Here we go, guys. How about that for delicious golden sausage rolls? Well, actually, black pudding sausage rolls. Gosh, the smell is incredible. I'm really looking forward to having a bite of one of these, guys. I think they'd be lovely served with a little bowl of sweet chili sauce or plum sauce or something like that to dip into. Super easy, great one to have ready for when the kids come home from school, or now that things are opening up a little bit here in Ireland. We look forward to the future. Wouldn't that be a lovely thing to have if you had some friends over? God bless everybody. Thanks for watching. See you soon.